jacked.
I'm jacked to the tits!
Looks as good as on paper. We're in the kill zone, pal. We're locked and loaded.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the London session. A little bit of a later one today, as I was just trying to avoid some rain in the UK before I went out for a run, but no avoiding it, had to battle through it. Absolutely shocking over here in the UK today, rainstorms. It does actually rain 90% of the time over here anyway. If you've ever visited, it is grey most of the time, but today is particularly shocking. Anyway, enough of that shit, let's dive in. Just having a look at RNDR, seeing what that's doing here after NVIDIA earnings last night. So at the close last night, NVIDIA was actually down 2.5%, I believe. So lagging Nasdaq market, we still see that's down here, but the London session here, it is actually up quite a chunk. That's going to be interesting to watch a little bit later on at the US Open. We will do a live session at the US Open as well. So fully expecting some gaps up, gaps down. And yeah, I'm actually interested to watch this one because obviously I'm just on a daily chart here. I'm not on lower time frames. I'm just purely watching the percentage moves. But I think this is going to be an interesting one to watch just in the coming days and weeks, really. You know, I mean, it's obviously just trending so hard. But yeah, I might have to do a bit of a deeper dive on this just in the background, really, because you know, if you're a big holder of NVIDIA stock, if you're a big whale investor, are you taking profits up here as we're doing this, or are these guys in for the longer hold? Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's just trending so hard, isn't it? I know Bezos was selling some Amazon stock over the last week or so. That's been reported. So interested to watch this over the coming days, really. We will keep an eye on this on the live session later on as well. Dixie just pulling down a little bit from this inverse head and shoulders, kind of expecting a bit more chopping here, and S&P doing S&P things, absolutely ripping. But yeah, NVIDIA, really good earnings last night, good report on that. I did find this really funny last night or yesterday when I saw this. A lot of traders really wearing the hearts on the sleeves with this trade, weren't they? And yeah, a bit of an exaggeration here, but geez, yeah, it is a little bit like that at the moment when you've got a few companies just holding up the whole sector, so to speak. But enough of legacy market shizzle. If you're a crypto bro and you wanted to play this trade, what can you play? The obvious one. Let's have a quick look at RNDR before we dive into Bitcoin and some levels, because I actually think Bitcoin's got some pretty easy levels here today, so I won't keep the video too long. RNDR, right, trending like crazy. I mean, just look at your 4 hour here, trending like crazy. No need to get bearish whatsoever. But the play being, if you were interested in playing this trade this week, $5.9 to $6 level was your region. We're going to jump into the TRDR console as well, and I'll show you why in a second. But 1 hour order block, $5.9 to $6 region, absolutely defended most of the week. Okay, so I don't think there was any reason to chase this yesterday whatsoever. This was your area to get in. Okay, let's just jump into the console. I'll show you why. Here we go. Okay, so this has been high lows all the way up. It's just an absolutely brilliant trending asset. It won't surprise me if it puts in a higher low soon, even today with a little bit of volatility, and then rips up again. But yeah, quite a clean chart, to be honest. Spot filled back here last week in the $5 region. Not an amazing spot chart, because I'm sure that people have filled a lot lower and are just holding, to be honest. But you can see that anytime it does get a little bit of bid, a little bit of demand from the aggregation there as well, it rises up. What's interesting to see is the perps chart. Okay, and I've said this before, that when spot have already filled their bid, and then you see spot come in with top levels like this, it's not a massive top level, but when you see top levels coming in like this, if you just remember the TA chart we just looked at here, so defending that 5.8, 5.9 to $6 region with a top level, and they're bidding it like crazy. You can see your actually orange overlay there. All right, I fully expect that was like an 80 or 90. bid, and you can see the wicks up there. Yeah, so really good confluence there of the 1 hour chart on the or just on TradingView, keeping an eye on those order blocks, and then seeing the bid come in here, very strong aggregated bid, very good. Yeah, you've got these slight supply hits above, but you know, it's to be expected. It's in a big trending market. High lows all the way. When you're seeing stuff like this, okay, and then, you know, areas getting defended like this, you know, you're wicking down into these areas. It could have come lower into this EMA here, just 1 hour 200 EMA there, but order block absolutely defended, you know. And this was actually pre-market as well, so in that usual zone that you get 1 hour before the US Open, wicks down, gets a nice push up. Okay, so yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on there if NVIDIA is going to keep strong. Okay, keep an eye on that trending market. Don't chase the green candles, but just be aware of some levels. Let's go and have a look at Bitcoin. Let's just have a look at a few classic TA levels here then on Big Dog Bitcoin, because I think it's fairly easy here. So a few classic TA levels. Order blocks in the range lows defended at the minute at 50k. The OBC from our video the other day was showing us that as well. So basically from the last video we said don't do anything in the middle, wait for this zone or wait for this zone. Okay, we were looking at the 1 hour order block here, and there was a 1 hour order block here that's just been smashed at the minute as well. Okay, so we've created a couple more now, but this order block in the range lows has been defended so far. Okay, so could quite easily push up. We'll have a look at the bid. I don't believe there's actually any strong bid from the limit orders at the minute. It would have to be a market bid and those US flows again, you know, to push this beyond. Okay, but we're just sat under the weekly open. All right, and we've got a lot of value areas below us. If you're a fan of the Dalton auction range theory, we've actually opened outside all of yesterday's value area ranges. Okay, so wouldn't surprise me if you don't get a massive move today and we possibly just rotate down a little bit and hit some range lows again. Just to be aware of that as we then dive in to the TRDR console and look at some raw data. Okay, so let's just do that now, bearing in mind a little bit of resistance above still. We've got some value areas below. We've opened outside of those value areas. Could we possibly get another rotation down? Do we give bulls another chance here, or do we just push up, okay, into the 53s again? Let's look at some data and see what supply we've got lying above us in the TRDR console. Okay, so first of all, this is our range. Clip the range lows. Lower time volume coming up a little bit. Nothing to speak of really in the lower time. Open interest and funding is still pretty chilled here, to be honest, but no major edge on volume. What you would want from your edge really here is you'd almost want to sweep down, take another low into that low 50k's for confirmation with bull divs again. Okay, so that's just a 15-minute chart with bull divs. 1 hour chart, let's have a look at that. Okay, so yeah, 1 hour chart. I'm not mega bearish, and I'm not one to say or put, you know, short positions in here, because I'm just not that way inclined at the minute. I would hedge your position, but you know, I'm not mega bearish. I just don't like this volume tailing off as the open interest still lingers here. So my only thing is I'm just aware of lower levels, and I would be prepared to look at those lower levels and bid them if we get that opportunity. Okay, retail coming in a little bit heavy here as well, so we'll have a look at the OBC, okay, and then we'll go and have a look at the order books and see what supply we've got overhead that could possibly cap price here at the POC, at the weekly open, considering those value areas a little bit lower. Okay, so just on the 2-day OBC, not a lot to speak of, to be honest. Not a lot to speak of. Bit of a liquidity gap there at 52.1 to 52.3, so that could create you a bit of wick space. Apart from that, let me go to a 4-day. Apart from that, yeah, not too much to speak of. You've still got a big defense of 53k, so I don't think that's going to be an easy take in the slightest, unless you do get a big market push. Just be aware of that. Okay, yeah, nothing to speak of. A bit higher. defense of 50.8 here on the 4-day. Is that your biggest limit order at the minute? Yeah, that's your biggest orders at the minute. We'll probably go and see that on some top levels. And then, yeah, biggest defense still at 53 there. Possible wick space just over 52.1. No real gaps, liquidity gaps to talk about to the downside until you get below 50k. So that could create slippage and wick space if you do go below 50k. Okay, but I still don't like the volume here really, regardless of your ETF flows or not. Your central exchange volume is not the best here. So yep, not bearish, just aware of levels lower. All right, let's go and have a look and see what the other exchanges are saying. Okay, let's go to Bitcoin. I'm just going to clear this up, get rid of that, get rid of the range. Okay, so there's your limit order to the downside at 50.8 main order, and it's actually from Binance Spot. You can see you've got levels waiting here up towards 53 again. Okay, depth is not bad here at all now. 400 million, not bad. A few months ago I would have said that's good depth, but considering at 38k we came from 1 billion depth, all right, maybe needs a little bit more. But yeah, just looking at the exchanges, I mean, all you need to do is eyeball these really, but let's flick through them. Okay, Coinbase Pro, you need to be aware of this because it's generally they are good charts. Coinbase Pro, I've got some pretty big supply here, just in the 1 to 2.5, okay, but just to be aware of 53k. I don't think it's going to be an easy take. All right, what are Kraken doing there? Yeah, so they want it a little bit lower, you know, no major supply here, but they want it a little bit lower. What's the USDT do? I don't know which is the best out of USD and USDT on Kraken, actually, to be honest. Bitfinex still covering 53 to 53.6ish as before. Okay, so just be aware of that. Can take time. And also the USDT version of Bitfinex is actually covering that zone as well now as well. So any pushes up, I don't think it's going to be easy actually. And I would still prefer, and I know this takes time, but I mean if you just look at a 15-minute chart here, we've not really moved in the last couple of days, to be honest, unless you're scalping these zones. It can take time on Bitcoin. I still would like lower. Patience should pay off. Bitstamp, nothing to show really. Bit market maker, no real edge from them. Qcoin covering 53 as well. So just be aware that that's where we've come from. Any further push up, that is your defense area. If we do push up there, don't start chasing it. As always, don't chase in here, you know, it's kind of an area you want to look to either hedge your position or watch for a reaction. Next obvious area is 55 on most exchanges. Something to note, Binance Perps is still pretty bullish. Again, just repeating, it's indicative of a trending market. Okay, Binance Perps, when you see the bands like this, lower bands, okay, full of demand, they're just willing to bid it lower. Okay, so no fear here. If this was empty, I'd get pretty bearish, but it's not at the minute. All right, so yeah, just something to note there. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there, to be honest. Nice easy levels, defense of 53. If we do go lower, just be aware of your levels, you know, where you want to bid. We did hold here, we wicked this space here. This was just towards the end of the US session here. Got a nice bounce. But just to note, people are dropping levels down. You've still got offers closing in. The range is becoming a little bit tight here. Maybe it's quick wicks down and then back up. Not sure. We'll have to see. As I say, not particularly bearish. Just aware of levels on either side that we have to play intraday and beyond. Okay, spot bags are obviously doing very, very well for everyone. Just be aware of your levels for derivatives and perps trading. All right, guys, so we will go live in the US session. Okay, interested to see what happens with NVIDIA. So we will concentrate on Bitcoin in the TRDR console as normal, but yeah, I just think it'll be an interesting couple of days. Big earnings, you know, just given that company a big push overnight. Interested to see, do we get any selling into that, or is it just continuation? All right, guys, speak soon. Cheers.
Fugazi, Fugazi, it's a Wazzy, it's a Woozy, it's a fairy dust.